Welcome back to Tailgate Talk. Today we are predicting the next 5 Super Bowl champions, and we are most definitely going to have some incorrect answers. Buck, please get us started. If you have not subscribed, that'd be high-key appreciated. Make sure that you're making that happen. We're doing another giveaway at 5,000 subscribers. This time a signed football.
Signed football. Lock it in. My pick for 2026 is the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seahawks
playing it safe, Buck.
It's very safe. We've said it from the start, though, man. They look incredible on literally every single end. Their special teams is sick. Their defense is sick. Sam Darnold's good enough, is what I would say. I think that's going to bring him to the promised land. I have the Seattle Seahawks as my 2026 winner.
It's hard to argue against them as a favorite just because even if things don't work out this year, going into next year, how much is really going to change? You still got to play against them in Seattle as well. It's one of those places you do not want to travel. Well coached, you have the offensive options, you have the defensive options, and it's going to be rainy and people don't want to deal with that. I've gone with a little more of a risky choice, I'd say, for 2026. I believe that Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions are going to bounce back. I love the duality of the running backs. I think Goff is due to make it happen. They've got the receiving core. They had a couple of injuries. They also have some young guys that they've already drafted that are developing. And I like what I'm looking at. And then we'll see how the draft goes going forward. But I don't see a back-to-back, no playoff making Detroit Lions. You got to remember, a couple seasons ago, these guys were the favorites, or at least one of the favorites. And I believe it's going to be not a back-to-back, but a backtrack or a re-up. I can't find my words here. I believe the Lions are going to be back contending in 2026. Let's move on. I think I'm only giving hot takes to start this, by the way. You've been warned. Let us know in the comments. Put your 5 names in the comments. Don't leave us hanging. Put 5 teams for 5 years in the comment section. Send us into 2027, Buck.
All right, the 2027 season, I think, and it pains me a little bit, I do think that the Patriots are going to somehow pull it off. I think Drake May is going to keep getting more established. And if he doesn't do it next year, I do see a Super Bowl and a Dave Portnoy rant all over Twitter in the future. They're good on all ends as well too, man.
They make me mad. I'm upset. I don't like Boston or Foxborough, this created home between Boston and Providence. And it's just one of those things. If you don't like the Patriots and you live through, which all of us have, the Tom Brady era, you're saying, okay, well, at least they're going to have some suffering here. And then they pick up Drake May and you're like,
Sorry. Minimal suffering. It was minimal suffering.
Also, can I just get this out of here if we're just talking Boston? Boston, if you're a fan of anything in Boston, you live in Boston, you guys have winners in all your sports. In our years, the Red Sox are winning, right? We've seen that. We've seen, of course, the Patriots winning. We've seen the Celtics winning. Even if you wanted to go dating back a little bit, the Bruins also winning in our life. So I'm just not happy. Maybe I'm jealous, and I'll be okay with that. I'm okay being jealous. I don't live that far from Boston, and you guys have won everything with all your teams within my life.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong about that. All right, well, who's your 2027 pick?
I should have put on the gear. I'm going super biased. I think the Texans need one more year. The defense will still be locked in. Hopefully CJ is ready for the playoffs. I think we'll have the run game and the offensive line a little more figured out. Give us one more year. I've got the Texans in 2027, super biased pick, but we are due to make a late run. It has not happened for us in the playoffs yet, but I believe it is in our future and in the next 5 years, and in this case, coming very soon.
All right, well, that leads me to my extremely biased pick, which is I think the Chargers are going to get one in the next 5 years, and I'm going to take them for the 2028 season. I think where Jim Harbaugh goes, he wins. He's a proven winner. I think over the next 3 years that it will allow us to, sign about 85 offensive linemen. So inevitably when 12 of them get hurt, there'll be another shift of players that we can get in there. Maybe we'll just run all blocking tight ends at this point. I really don't know. Everybody gets hurt over there. But that's my opinion. I think Herbert is going to hopefully win a playoff game at some point in his career, or I would probably cry. Defensively, we looked fine this year, though. They put up a fight. I think it will get better at some point. There's salary cap flexibility, and I would love to see the Chargers win one. It just does suck that it's in LA.
Yeah, the secondary, I agree with you. I don't like the move. I don't want 2 LA teams. That doesn't worked well for the Clippers. I'm just throwing it out there. But I forgot where I was going to go there. I had something. Oh, I was going to say the secondary for the Chargers is also amazing. So there's some foundational play in work. For 2028, I've gone with, and I think it's inevitable. I don't think he's done winning. Love him, hate him, respect him, whatever. I've got the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes comes back from an injury. Of course, next year they have to do some reworking of the team. It's possible to do, but I definitely think they need to make some different signings, need some more star power because they really don't have a star receiver. They don't have star running backs. I think you can help the team out. They got a good O line. You've got a dedicated and certifiable winner with Mahomes. You also might need a new tight end. I don't think we're going to see Travis Kelce, nor would you want to maybe 3 years down the road. But I give a couple years for the Chiefs to figure it out. And I just don't think that Mahomes is done winning. Well, love it, agree with it, disagree, whatever. I just don't think he's done. I think he's got another Super Bowl in his future.
That is a perfect segue into my 2029 season, which I have the Chiefs as well too. I don't think Mahomes is done. I definitely don't.
At least one more. At least one.
I think there's at least one more, and I think there might be more than one more. The Chiefs are just one of those teams. They figure it out, man. They really do. They're gonna have a little salary cap reset as well here. But I do agree with you in the sense where they don't have that star wide receiver that you're talking about. And the fact that they had such a horrific season this year, maybe they pick up a superstar in the draft, dude. This is probably the best draft chance they've had in a while.
They have to, bro. Because they used to have a little more superstardom. And you also had Travis Kelce more in the prime. So you've got that
Tyreek Hill. Tyreek was there
that's
too.
Where I was going. Yes, you have the big key position players, and then of course Mahomes is Mahomes. So and well coached, super well coached. There's no denying that. Andy Reid's the real deal.
He is the real deal. So yeah, I have them for 2029. Who do you have for 2029?
I've gone with probably another controversial choice. I'd love for this to happen. I'm not even necessarily a supporter. But you could probably figure out where I'm heading.
I thought you were going to take Texans.
No. I'm not going back 2 and 5 years. I'm not that bold, but I want the Chicago Bears to make a Super Bowl run. I think it's going to take them a little longer than people maybe are anticipating or the fans in Chicago are hoping for. But there's young talent in the right places. I like what they have right now, again, with the duality of the running backs. I love that. I still believe that football is run first. If you can run the ball consistently, everything else opens up. The same with like having a consistent defense, having a fantastic O-line. There's certain elements or foundations of football that almost always equal success and getting results over the long term. Caleb will be now a vet and a little more ready maybe for everything, even though in the fourth quarter, what we've seen has been spectacular. Some of the greatest throws, a couple of them at least, some of the most clutch throws I think we've seen maybe in NFL history. I don't want to get too far of recency bias, but the throw that he has against the Packers in the playoffs, the throw that he had, it's too bad that it's not going to be remembered against the Rams just because he threw a pick in OT. But that to tie that up, Komet just scoopity scoop, unbelievable. But I've got the Bears in 2029.
I would like to see him make a run. There was just so many games this year that they had absolutely no business winning. They had like 8 or 9 comeback wins. I do think they've gotten better, and I agree with you in the sense where I think everything is run first now. And that's why I think we see so many of these quarterbacks where you have to be able to run, which would be interesting to see, Matt Stafford make the Super Bowl this year. And that guy can probably run as fast as my grandmother. So,
but in fairness, though, Buck, he's legitimately the best QB.
No, he is. No, he is. Yeah,
so
yeah.
You could still be a pocket QB if you are a top 5 QB in the league. But for most anyone else, I think you do need to be a little more modern now. I mean, even if you think of Aaron Rodgers back in the day, like prime Aaron Rodgers, that guy was moving.
Yeah.
Very active. I mean, I was going to give some more examples of maybe I was going to go the other way of if you wanted to be pocket QB greatness, we're talking Peyton Manning's, Tom Brady's. I mean, Mahomes moves really well as well I'm just thinking of some of the greats that we're seeing playing at the moment. You got me on the cusp. Anyways, let's continue. We'll refocus. So you've got.
I said the Chiefs for 2029 was my pick, and you had the Bears. So we'll head into the final pick of the video. If you guys have not left a like, please leave a like and comment your 5 as well. This is something where you can go back with your friends in 4 years from now and be like, yo, look, ding, 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 ding. Imagine if we could bet this, because it definitely won't let you bet it now.
If this goes right on a parlay for you, oh my goodness, you might be retiring very soon.
Yeah, by 2030, you'll be out of here. By 2028, you could probably be out of here if you got all this right. All right, my final pick is I think San Francisco is going to do it again, man. I think they have just an incredible. I mean, we saw them this year where everything was stacked against them, and they still came out like number 1 in the conference. They've been incredible. I think Brock Purdy's still young enough that I think he will win one. We were talking about Brock Purdy a lot this year as well too. And if they ever get away from that power plant that's degrading every single one of their limbs, they will stay healthy and win a Super Bowl.
And that leads me into my final selection. Maybe there's a bias. I'm not a fan, but I live out here. You got the New York Giants. And I just
Wow.
like a lot of their players. Young talent across the board. You got new coaching that just came in. I think there's still going to be plenty of working through some of the maybe the issues. Who knows what kind of signings? If we're being honest,
It's the
I think.
Giants, yeah.
But I also think they got history of winning, which
Yeah.
is that's important here. I've got a few choices that they don't have history of winning. Yeah, and that's kind of risky. If anything, it might be easy to do or easier to do, but if history repeats itself a lot of times, right? So it's easier to go with teams that have some sort of pedigree, at least to a certain degree. But I like the core of the Giants in theory. If they stay healthy, it's there. You've got a lot of the pieces in the right places. And I'm just going to assume that they draft better and maybe make a couple offseason moves. They could be even poised to be decent next year. I wouldn't say good, great, but decent. You'll see the progression.
All right, that works. All right, well, let's see if any of these 10 picks hit within the next 5 years. Thank you guys for watching the video. We will see you guys after this week, I believe, when the conference round is over with. All right, we'll see you guys then.